Welcome into Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Braden Bell alongside Spencer Hardenberg. And Spencer, there's a big-time buzz around campus, and now a lot of people would say it's because ASU beat Oregon in football this past weekend. But a small group of folks might argue that it's because we're back on the anchor desk. From a team full of excitement and promise to one that had a nightmare of a season, that of course would be Arizona State volleyball. Joining me to break down the season that was is Alex Gall. And Alex, to put it simply, it wasn't pretty. 20 straight losses and finished the season without a Pac-12 win. So with such a young team, what can they possibly learn from this season full of struggles? So you heard earlier in the show about Bobby Hurley's historic recruiting class for the men's basketball program. But the men's squad isn't the only team that should be strong next year. Charlie Turner-Thorne and the Devils women's team return everybody from last year's team. Literally everybody. Alex Gall has more. All right, Carly, so what's going on? It seems like this team was not talked about at all in the preseason, and now all of a sudden they're ranked. People are talking about them all the time. Where did this come from? ASU men's tennis. They traveled to Southern California for the second time this season, this past Thursday. They took on number 4 Ohio State. They lost in a tight one 4-3. But what do you think the squad gained from that? Interesting note about Sumlin. Went 7-5 this year at Texas A&M. Same record as ASU. So kind of a lateral movement as far as records go. It'll be interesting to see what he does. But if he is the leader, then we'll let it be. But we're going to play, you guys are the experts, so I want you to throw out some other names in case it isn't Kevin Sumlin. In the rumor mill here, who else do you think could possibly end up having a chance at this job?
Sure. We've both had bumps so far in our first two top plays. G. Juarez had no bumps in this game. A no-hitter against BYU. She's been phenomenal all year long for the Sun Devils, but this was perhaps her best moment. So far, at least, no hitting the BYU Cougars. Look at all those zeros up there on the scoreboard at Farrington. Beyonce once said, if you like it, you should have put a ring on it. Zahid Valencia loves wrestling. Put a ring on it. Won the national title. 32-0. I mean, the man was literally perfect. Give him a lot of props and a big-time moment for him. A pretty easy decision to be the top play of the year. Arizona State baseball. They pride themselves as being MLBU. Historically, that's been very true. With alums like Reggie Jackson, Barry Bonds, and Dustin Pedroia, this couldn't be more correct. Recently, though, the program has fell on rough times. But the next great Sun Devil is here, and ASU fans should appreciate him while they still can. Gage Canning is the next great star to come out of Arizona State. His numbers so far, they're unreal. We are 21 games into the season, and Canning is still batting around 500 on the year. He also leads the nation in triples and plays great in the outfield. But perhaps his best attribute, his leadership. Arizona State baseball needed a star this season, and Gage Canning has done all of that and more. So ASU fans, he's right in front of you, a future stud on the next level. So I recommend heading out to Muni and watching him play in person before it's too late. And that's the way it is.